Woke up this morning, stopped out on a trade that I took last night. And the worst part about it was such a dumb trade. Anastasia, what were you doing? Like literally everything I tell people not to do is what I did last night. Number one, I'll tell you why it was dumb. I took the trade at the end of the UK session. I always say, don't open your trades at the end of sessions because the price action is false. But I took it. And number two, I didn't even do proper analysis because I didn't realize yesterday that we had CPI until a friend told me, but he told me after the CPI. So when I had a look at the chart, it was like a double bottom off the initial low of the day. And that second side was price moving up from the CPI. Just a little, like, ended up being a fake pump. It was good news for the market. So we had this little pump and I didn't even consider the time. I just was like, this is probably going to be the start of the 3-day swing. I wanted to go to bed. I'd had meeting after meeting. And because I'm in Australia right now, my time zone is still set to Dubai. So all of my meetings and stuff like that are the times that it would normally be like during the day in Dubai. But over here, it's super late. Like some of my meetings are at midnight in Australia. So right now I'm exhausted. So I had meeting after meeting. I see this trade. I'm tired, I'm not thinking straight, I forget there's a news event, I get reminded, and without doing a full analysis, I just jump into a trade thinking, yeah, it's a double. And I remember thinking like that double bottom, it's not really following the rules. Like I don't have a stopping volume candle on the initial peak. It's not really a W formation. The second wick was actually lower. Like it really, really didn't follow my rules. And then I didn't even think that, oh wow, US is gonna open in like half an hour. I just opened the trade and went to bed. Woke up this morning, was stopped out. But I did save myself. And I ended up in an overall win. So I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna show you what I did, the bad decision that I made, and I'm gonna show you how I saved it as well. So yeah, let's go to the charts. All right, so I hope you guys can hear me all right. I'm on my laptop because I'm feeling lazy, but this was my dumb trade. But let me explain my thoughts. So first of all, this here was the false move week beginning that happened after the weekend trap. So that was a typical weekend, false move week beginning. We headed down for the entire Monday and that kind of continued into the start of Tuesday. And like usually Tuesday, you will get the 3-day swing, if not Monday. And usually if you get it on Monday, you get it UK and US. So I was kind of hoping that this initial low of the day right here would hold and that would be the end of the false move week beginning, and then we'll come back here to retest it and move up from there. That was my thinking at the time. So what I was looking for was like a W kind of here, which we kind of did get, but you can see here on this second peak here, it wasn't a higher low in compared to this one. So it was really kind of tricky. You know, it was a bit of a 50-50 to be honest. Plus we had been constantly rejecting the 50 EMA. So I was anticipating that if we got a double bottom, the next move would break it. And then CPI came out at about 12:30 Melbourne time, which was this green candle here. So I see this green candle kind of pumping at the time. And I thought, yeah, okay, we're going up from there. It is a double bottom, we're going up. So I place this long position, go to bed, wake up and this has happened. But here's how I saved myself, because I actually took a short on this false move week beginning, and this was my short. And because I wasn't sure about this double bottom, I thought, oh, I'll keep my short open just in case, but I'll put my stop loss just under my entry where that lower high was. So that way, if the long plays out, it will hit my stop. I'll have that little bit of profit to cover the fees on the short, and then I can just continue to ride the long. But the long didn't play out, the short is still in play. So what ended up happening was I always risk 1% on my trades unless I'm super, super confident, but mostly for day trades, only 1% risk. So lost 1% on this trade right here. But by the time I woke up, this trade here was a 3.8 to 1 risk to reward. So that 1% that I lose here, I make back here, which means overall at that point in time, it was a 2.8% account growth, which is fine. So in the end, the overall is the win, but trade per trade, one win, one loss. But that's why you really can't judge yourself on a per trade basis, because it's not possible to win every single trade. What matters most is that your overall result still puts you in a profitable position. So I'm currently still in this short, just waiting to see what happens. The initial high of the day looks like it's been set. Currently there's still 3 hours left of Asia though, so that could break because it's really hours to go. And this here is the 4 hour prior resistance. So I'm kind of just waiting to see if this builds like a bit of a bear flag, maybe something like this, comes back to retest the 4 hour resistance, get that lower high maybe, then I would expect more downside. So that's kind of what I'm watching for now. But if I start to see some bullish momentum, then I'll just close my short and reset. But having said that, after such a long week like this, I would expect them at some point to come back somewhere into that zone, especially because that wicked into the low of the week as well, which is a really key level. So yeah, I'm hoping that we get a little bit more out of this so that I can make a little bit more on this short, but I'm watching it anyway to decide when I should close it. But this here is the 4 hour resistance that I was talking about. So 1, 2, 3. We broke it, we've come back, we failed the retest to the upside. We're now under it, so we need to see if we get a retest that holds as resistance for another move to the downside. So yeah, there you go. All in all, not terrible trading, still managed to save that trade, but you know, that's what happens sometimes, and it really goes to show that if you're going to sit at the chart and open a position, you really need to make sure you're in the right frame of mind for it. Hello, my little doggy. Come here, come and say hello. This is my little baby Jet. Yeah, you just need to make sure you're in the right frame of mind for it. And if you feel tired, like there's always going to be another trade. And just don't do dumb things like what I just did. But anyway, I hope you learned from that lesson. Number 1, don't open trades end of session. Number 2, especially if there's a news event that is close to the end of a session, wait for the new session to start and for that session to react, because that's where US reacted and reversed the price. And finally, don't open trades tired. I'll see you on the next video. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff, and enjoy your day.